Sous l'impulsion d'Alhaji Adewale, contrôleur général des douanes nigériennes, le service des douanes s'engage dans la modernisation de ses activités afin de dynamiser le commerce en Afrique de l'Ouest. M. Adeywale est un ardent promoteur de l'amélioration des chaînes de valeur et du renforcement de la collaboration entre les secteurs publics et privés pour l'intégration économique.
Comment le commerce peut-il améliorer l'intégration régionale?
We still believe, as vestiges of our colonial past, that perhaps our salvation lies with what we do with our former colonial masters. But it's becoming increasingly aware. We are becoming increasingly aware now that perhaps there is a lot that we can do with ourselves, starting with trade. We had a very rich history of trade. All our empires, the great empires. Ghana Empire, Mali Empire, Shongai Empires, they have very great trading history amongst themselves. And so we're getting there. And so there is a commendable resurgence now, of course, thanks to AFTA, which has really awakened all African countries to the fact that we now need to leverage and maximize the potentials that trade offers us. There is also a new dawn in Nigeria. We have a government that is putting trade in the front burner. One of the major cardinal objectives of the president is to aspire and make Nigeria a major trading nation. And so many of the big policies that are being undertaken speak to this fact that the government desires Nigeria to take maximum advantage from trade.
Quel soutien accordez-vous aux exportateurs nigérians dans le cadre de la ZLECAf?
Tariff and non-tariff barriers have very big impediments, there is no doubt about that. But our own experience in Africa, in Nigeria particularly, has indicated that there's still that lukewarm attitude, ignorance about, taking advantage, of the opportunities offered under AFTA or what we used to do before under the ECOWAS trade liberalization scheme. When we bring small and medium enterprises together, when we have programs with organized private sector, a good number of them are still not aware that there exists this opportunity. I'm not running away from the fact that there are big issues regarding the bureaucratic bottlenecks, the problems encountered by businessmen in our ports, the payment system, which is a very big challenge, possibly the problem of integrity among officials in the ports. These are all issues militating against the growth of intra-African trade. But in the last 1 or 2 years, like I said, we're beginning to see numbers moving in the opposite direction. There is a relative growth in the exports, volume from Nigeria particularly. We are beginning to bring reforms that address the challenges faced by exporters, particularly the small scales. And then the GTI initiative, which Nigeria was not part of before, we've now taken the bold move to step in and take advantage of that. And I'm happy that Nigeria Customs Service, actually played a very active role in driving the process that led us into that. And I'm even happier that 2 of the beneficiaries of this are small-scale industries, and because this is where lies the hope and the power.
Comment le Nigeria bénéficiera-t-il du corridor autoroutier Dakar-Lagos?
This is going to be an extension of the Lagos-Abidjan corridor, for which Nigeria has been, participating. So Côte d'Ivoire is the next, to Nigeria in terms of size, in terms of volumes, in terms of population. So if you take what we do together with what they do in Côte d'Ivoire, we're responsible for over 70%, of the population and the volume of trade. So if we get it right on that corridor, we would say we'll be getting it right in the sub-region. Now, the intention of this is to extend this beyond Côte d'Ivoire and get it up to Dakar, and bring in all the economics in between. So we already have the bigger umbrella of ETLS, In this place, they also have the UMOR, which is already working very, very well. So I believe that, this would be an attempt to build blocks, trading blocks within the bigger blocks, so that, the totality, the aggregation would be a stronger trading bloc within Africa. Between Nigeria and Ghana and Benin, for example, our closest neighbor, we're working very actively. We're engaging the customs administration and the higher authorities of Republic of Benin to ensure that we harmonize our policies. Our systems, our computer systems have achieved a handshake, and we very much believe that once we are able to achieve that, our inroads into UMOR markets, will be very simple. Between Nigeria and Ghana already, historically, we are linked, so there aren't so much issues. So if we are able to achieve these clusters, within the ETLS, I believe it will transform into a stronger ECOWAS, and it will be a very, big stepping platform towards the realization of the continental market itself.